I guess this is like a new thing for my channel, since I have one, and I figured I could use it as a platform. But I wanted to take a moment to celebrate the show that was until yesterday when Netflix abruptly canceled it. The show that was Raising Deon. I'm Mac from MacTheMovieGuy.com, and this is an in memoriam for Raising Deon. What I just want to do is talk about just how great the show was, how much Netflix has messed up by canceling it, and encourage some of you guys to watch the show because obviously it had low viewership. We all pay an extraordinary amount of money for Netflix for our subscriptions. The least they could do would be to give a show like this a finale, a third season, so that it can finish up. They've been pretty much doing that. A lot of their shows have been tapping out early with only 3 and 4 season runs. Dead to Me is in its final season, and it's season 3. So if they really... It wouldn't even been that weird for them to give it one more season and allow it to wrap its storyline and give Deon the opportunity to face the Crooked Man and actually resolve the seasons-long story arc that this show has had, and leaves us with an amazing cliffhanger. But I guess Netflix just doesn't care about us, which is so frequent. I mean, over the years, how many times have TV fans gotten burned? And they wonder why people don't launch into new shows all the time. It's because we don't actually know. Like, we get invested in something and we don't know that we're ever going to get a conclusion to it. And when you have a show like this that requires conclusion, it really hurts when you don't get one. There are some comedies that don't really have like a consistent plot, so when they get canceled, it doesn't feel so bad because there really isn't a strong story to wrap up. And some of those procedurals also don't necessarily have a strong plot line. They develop it over time. I'm not going to say like NCIS and Law and Order Special Victims Unit shouldn't have series finales after their massive amount of seasons on the network, but something that's been on for only 2 or 3 seasons that falls into that procedural category doesn't necessarily have as much plot, I would say, to wrap up. But with Raising Deon, which is a fantastic show for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about a mother who is tasked with raising a young boy with superpowers, and she's just lost her husband, and there's this whole mysterious thing around it. And we got to see Michael B. Jordan in a couple of episodes because he played Deon's deceased father. And Deon's powers keep growing, and he becomes more and more powerful, and he doesn't know how to control them. And then there's this corporation, and you don't know whether or not to trust the corporation. And then it starts expanding the cast, so you don't just have Nicole and Deon. You end up getting the kids at Deon's school who form this triangle of justice, Jonathan and Esperanza. And the girl who plays Esperanza's always done a great job in the show. They've given Jonathan a little bit less to do as a character, but Esperanza has had some really great moments on the show, and I really hope she continues to get hired coming out of this. And we had Jason Ritter playing Pat, who started out in the first season being the best friend of Deon's father, and sort of working his way in and trying to help out. And of course, that goes somewhere, and I don't want to spoil it because I want people to watch the show. But Jason Ritter's character evolves in an interesting direction. And there's a little kid called Braden who is out sort of in the middle of nowhere, and he also has an interaction with this crooked man, and it also takes his father, and he has this interaction that is separate of Deon, but it leaves him sort of orphaned, and he grows up sort of in a different way of Deon, and that sort of is resolved a little bit more in season 2 than in season 1, even though he's introduced in season 1. So it's really it's a cast of characters. In season 2 introduced Tevin, a superpowered adult who was there to teach this superpowered youth, and also be a love interest for Nicole. So it's been a really cool series. The second season had those weird plant monsters, which were kind of cool to hear described. This show has always had really good audio description. It manages to describe a show to us that is fantastical in its elements of being able to convey things about superheroes and superhero powers and people who can teleport and shoot things out of their hands and create things that don't exist, along with these like inhuman looking characters that sort of end up popping up, and also the crooked man, getting a good description of him. So it's not without its challenges, but I feel like it's always risen to them. And there are fight sequences, even though Raising Deon is very family friendly, which is one of the reasons I love it so much, is because we have so many shows right now that are superhero oriented, and they're all kind of aimed at an adult audience. Everything from like The Boys to The Umbrella Academy to The Peacemaker, they're all not really something you can watch with your kids. But Raising Deon was very much something that you could sit down with the whole family and watch and enjoy. And maybe that's why it lost its audience. Maybe comic book fans were not into a show that people's heads weren't exploding, so they weren't watching. I don't know, but I thought the acting was good. I thought everybody in the cast really delivered. I think Alicia Wainwright, who played Nicole, I didn't know who she was before, but she's absolutely taken my breath away, and I'll remember her name. If I see it in a project in the future, I'll be like, oh, I remember her. I'm glad she's still working again. With child actors, it's so hit and miss to see whether or not they'll ever work again. I hope they do. I would love to see all 4 of the main child actors in this in other projects. Obviously, Jason Ritter's not going anywhere. So, yeah. But I think Netflix made a mistake in canceling the show without giving it a finale. And it's not that I'm upset that the show is ending soon. I already have to come to terms with the fact that I'm only getting 3 seasons of Lock and Key. At least I'm getting a conclusion season of Lock and Key. At least Lock and Key gets to wrap up its storyline. My problem with Raising Deon is that you left it on such a cliffhanger, and then you canceled it, and you don't even care enough to let them wrap up the storyline. If you haven't seen the show and you get to the end of season 2, you'll understand. You'll be like, damn, that is a cliffhanger. They really did set that up for something. And it's like, yeah, they really did. And now there's no resolution to that. And I thought we were getting past this. I thought we were getting past leaving fans in the lurch. I mean, NBC went out of their way with Timeless to give fans that like short little blurb to make sure that Timeless got like a wrap-up finale. You know, we're getting more and more. Wu Assassins just ran for 1 season and it got a movie. It didn't even, Netflix gave that thing a fucking movie. Yeah, I'm gonna say fucking in this interview because it's warranted. Wu Assassins was a 1 season show at Netflix and they gave it a movie. And what on earth? Why couldn't you give Raising Deon like 4 episodes to wrap up its final season? Like what on earth? Why are we paying your ungodly rate compared to everything? You can subscribe to multiple streaming services for the price of Netflix. Stop canceling all of the shows that I'm watching on Netflix. It's not fun. I hate like looking at the future of Netflix and being like, oh, so, okay, well, they just canceled Lock and Key's going in its final season. Oh, okay, so, Stranger Things is ending. Oh, okay, that's good. Oh, Dead to Me is ending. Okay, that's good. Oh, Glow's not getting a finale either. Oh, okay. It just feels like a lot of shows are just unceremoniously coming to an end. In favor of I don't know what. So we'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to say, Raising Deon, I loved you, and I recommend you to other people. I'm not going to say it's the best show of all time, so if I had to grade the series overall and put a letter grade on the entire run of Raising Deon, I'm going to give it an A-. So that's the grade, since I grade things on my channel. I also stand by the fact that I think this show, even though it's been a couple months since I've seen an episode of Raising Deon, because the 2nd season dropped in February, I have never had a problem with the audio description in the show. I just can't like dive in and give you like specifics, because my brain just is, I watch too much stuff to be able to specifically give you, be like, oh, there was that scene, it was really great where they did that. I'd love to be able to do that. I honestly can't. I just know that I've never had a problem with Raising Deon's audio description. So check it out. Check out Raising Deon. Or don't, because that's totally fair, because it will never have any resolution. And that's on Netflix. So anyway, thanks for coming here and checking out my in memoriam to Raising Deon. I don't know if I'm going to do this again, but I have a feeling that there's going to be some cancellations every once in a while where I just really feel like the show deserved more than it got. And I may pop in with another in memoriam to talk about how great the show was and how sad I am that it's not around anymore. So to the cast, crew, and production team of Raising Deon, thank you for a really great 2-season run. And to Netflix, you know what you can do. Yep. If you like this, and you want to see more in memoriams when shows get canceled, let me know. Write in the comments. If you think this is stupid, write in the comments. Click subscribe. Whatever. Do your thing. You know what to do. You can also check out more of my reviews at macthemovieguy.com. And if you're looking for a title that has audio description, don't forget to check out the audio description project. I just had this conversation with somebody the other day in a Facebook community. They were wondering about a title, and I said, did you check the audio description project? And they were like, no. What is that? So I just keep trying to say it at the end of my reviews so that everybody knows it exists. You can find out whether or not the answer to your question is yes, this movie has audio description, or no, this movie does not have audio description. All right. That's it. No more Raising Deon. Sorry, guys.